What's going good, you guys? It's your boy here, TheChrisPhoenix. Keeping my NFL. God, what week are we in? Like, like the week just flies. Or say the NFL season flies, for that matter. So what week are we? We're in week 14 of the NFL. God, man, just a few more weeks and the regular season's over. Can you believe that? Oh my goodness. But anyways, this week should be a really good week, I think, in the NFL. A lot of playoff implication games, I should say. But let's start it off, shall we? Let's start off with the Houston Texans going to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. You guys know the Texans. God, what have they lost now? Like 9 straight games? This team is just, or like 10 straight. No, 10 straight games. Yeah, they start off 2-0. Oh, God, this team is just horrible. I mean, yeah, they give the Patriots a run for the money, but they still suck. I get, Aaron Foster's out for the rest of the season. Oh, no. Jason Keenum's just there for LOL. Like, and they're facing the Jaguars, who's how the hell the Jaguars now winning? But I think this is the game they finally lose. I mean, the Jaguars. I think after their big winning streak, 3 straight wins, I believe. I think this is where they draw the line. They finally lose on prime time. This is a Thursday night game, so I'm gonna go with Houston. Next, you got the Atlanta Falcons, who surprisingly won a game in overtime on the road in Canada. It's the Bills, but anyways, they went now they're facing Packers in Lambeau, and yeah, who would have saw that tie? Tie was a couple weeks ago. Excuse me. Last week was the beating that they got from the Lions on Thanksgiving. So, oh, uh, the Falcons usually suck on the road. So, I'm gonna go with the Packers. Not by much, but I'm gonna go with the Packers because you know despite how much injuries the Packers are sustaining right now, the Falcons, they're still. Ugh. So, anyways, next game, you got the Buffalo Bills going to Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. I actually think the Buccaneers will win this one. The Bills usually struggle on the road, um, and the Buccaneers, they got a nice team, because okay, they're not a great team, a really good team, but they're better than what the record has shown. They've been in a lot of close games this season, so I think this is the game that this is one of those games that if they win at home, they'll improve to 4-9. They won't necessarily have like the worst record in the NFL, so let's go with Tampa Bay. Next, you got the Colts going on the road to take on the Bengals. I don't know what to think of the Colts because the Colts are one of those teams that you look at them and they do really horrible against bad teams or mediocre teams. But when they face the likes of the Broncos or they face a really good team, they win. So, yeah, I don't know what to think of this. The Colts obviously still have the Reggie Williams up for the season. T.Y. Hilton is consistent. Andrew Luck, we all know he's a second half quarterback. But that Colts defense, that secondary in particular, is just bad. But I actually think the Bengals will get this at home, so I'm going to go with Cincinnati. Next, you got the Cleveland Browns going to New England to take on the Patriots. What happened to the Browns defense? Especially, what's his face, Hayden, the quarterback for the Browns. Whatever happened to him? Like, he was to me, one of the most underrated corners in the NFL, and now he's just struggling. But this Pacers team, they're finally getting their offense, I think, consistently together. There was a while like, okay, they started getting good. Oh no, they got shut down with this team, but then they're doing good again. I think for now they have the rhythm. Obviously with Gronkowski, even Mendola's not really being a factor. Julian Edelman's looking like the #1 receiver on this team in the last couple of weeks. So I'm gonna go with Belichick, Brady, Patriots at home. Yeah. Next, you have the Detroit Lions going on to Philly to take on the Eagles. Honestly, this is a tough game to call because, the Eagles obviously beginning the season they had this huge losing streak at home, and they kind of continued until they finally stopped beating the Redskins, I believe, at home. The Lions, they just came from a butt whooping. They just kicked the freaking Packers' ass Thanksgiving. So, I think this might be the one game that Nick Foles finally throws an interception, but I just have that weird feeling. But I think the Lions will sneak in a victory and win on the road. So I'm going to go with Detroit. Next, you got the Chiefs and the Redskins. Gosh, what happened to the Chiefs? Perfect 9-0, looking like they're a great position to have the number one seed, and then they lose three straight games. Two of those. You know, okay, losing to the Broncos, okay, that's acceptable to me. But losing to the Chargers at home, what the hell? And allowing that many points, I thought your Chiefs defense was so good, and they blow up for 41 points. That's not good defense to me. Crazy. But they are going on the road, taking on RG3 and company. This Redskins team is just dead awful. They're horrible. They suck. I'm sorry, they just do. So I'm just going with the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs finally get a victory and the slide here. So yeah, I'm with the Chiefs. Next, you got the Raiders going into New York, taking on the Jets. Jets. I picked the Jets last week, and God, do I regret it. I say, you know what? The Jets is a bit better at home, but Gino and that offense could not get anything. The defense played decent, the Jets, I think, but their offense was just bad. Gino and company, I don't know what the hell happened, but I do think the Jets will rebound and win at home, so I'm gonna go with the Jets. Then you got the Steelers hosting the Dolphins. Mike Tomlin, first game since being fined was $100,000 for. It looked like he went to trick Jacoby Jones on Thanksgiving night. Nice. But the Steelers are usually a good team at home. I'm not sold on the Dolphins. To me, they got no running game. Mike Wallace just drops passes after passes after passes. I mean, Brian Hartline's looking like a better receiver right now than Mike Wallace. Like how much they paid Mike Wallace compared to Brian Hartline. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Steelers. Then you have the Minnesota Vikings, who didn't they just come out the victory out there? Yeah, they did. They just beat the Bears. Going to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. I think the Ravens defense is finally showing up. Being more consistent as of late. Ray Rice is just Ray Rice. This guy was a top five running back entering the season, and look what's happening. What the hell? But now they're trying to run the Wildcat and everything. And Joe Flacco's like, LOL, why is this happening to me? But I think the Ravens will win at home, so I'm going to go Baltimore. And then you got the Tennessee Titans. Oh, God. Going to Denver, take on the Broncos. They're really need to say more. Let's go with Denver. Then you got the St. Louis Rams taking on the Cardinals. Believe it or not, my little prediction home winnings, back pick of the home team so far, this one stops. I'm going to go with the Rams beating the Cardinals. And here's the reason why. The Cardinals always suck against the Rams last week. Trust me, I live in Arizona. I've seen these games where the Cardinals are up by like 6 points with a span of 2 minutes to go. The Rams go get a field goal, and then next thing you know, Cardinals fumble or get picked off, and then another field goal, tie, go to overtime, then the Rams win or something. It's a really close game between these two. It's usually a good game between the Rams and Cardinals the last several years. But I am going to go with St. Louis. I like the Cardinals, but they always struggle against the Rams, especially at home. So I'm going to go with St. Louis. And then you got the New York Football Giants taking on the San Diego Chargers. And wow, how ironic. Eli Manning versus Philip Rivers. For all you guys who don't know, quite a number of years back, originally the Giants drafted Philip Rivers and the Chargers drafted Eli Manning. Eli was like, LOL, I don't want to play in San Diego. I want to go play in the Big Apple. So you know what? They traded. Obviously, Eli went to New York, won a couple of Super Bowl rings out of luck, in my opinion. Chargers, they got Rivers. I'm going to go with New York. So then you got the Seattle Seahawks, who basically murdered the Saints, going on the road to take on the San Francisco 49ers. And believe it or not, I'm going with the upset here. Technically, this is an upset. But I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers at home. And here's the reason why. The Seahawks are not the same team that they are on the road as they are at home. I still believe that. The 49ers are playing better as of late. At the beginning of the season, they're like, ooh. Now they're playing a bit more consistent. They're playing better. Kaepernick, he's not lighting up the world, but he's at least keeping his team in the game and whatnot. So I'm going to go with the upset here. I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. Then you got the big Sunday night game. This is going to be a big game. Obviously, both these two teams tie for the NFC South. The Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints. And this should be a great game. Both these teams' defenses. The Saints' defense, yeah, they got lit up on, on Monday night, but particularly this season, they've been really good. And the Carolina Panthers, they got one of the best, if not the best defense in the NFL right now. So it should be fun to watch. The Saints, to me, are still like the Seahawks. They're just dominant at home. So I'm going to go with the New Orleans take on the Saints. However, when these two meet in Carolina, don't be surprised the fact that Cam Newton and company. And last but not least, the Monday night game. We got the Dallas Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? Going on the road to take on Chicago Bears. Now, obviously, the Cowboys are favored. The Bears, their defense, it's not what it used to be. They struggle against the run and whatnot. But guys, it's December. It's December. Tony Romo's most hated month. And how beautiful on Monday Night Football. And you imagine being nice and cold up in the windy city in Chicago in December on Monday Night Football. Does that sound like a loss to you from Dallas Cowboys? To me, it does. So I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears. And that's it for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment down below, put your predictions and picks and whatnot, and I'll catch you all later.